Good morning, everybody. Give me a second here to get started. Going to get the link here. We're going to do a little bit of pre-market screen sharing and maybe go into the market a little bit, doing some test trial runs for you guys here. So I'm going to get the link over to Dan for the screen share. Let's see here. Give me a second, guys. I'm not the biggest morning person, so you guys will see I'm not as high energetic as I am later in the afternoon for doing the watchlist video. So give me 1 second here, guys. All right, sending this off to Dan. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of screen sharing for you guys in the pre-market, and I'm just looking over right now at our chat rooms. Yeah, gonna do some of this for you guys, see how it goes moving forward, and if it goes well and you guys like it, we might be doing more of it, right? So let's get this pre-market. Let me send this out to the group. Hey guys, let's see, peeps. We are live doing a screen share on YouTube right now. Here's the link. Let's try that out. All right, so hopefully you guys see this link and hop on. Let me just go over here. Got to get used to this whole YouTube setup thing. Parts of me like it, and then other parts of me are like, can be much better. So I'm going to get started right now and show you guys the futures. So what we do in the pre-market usually is we send out charts, and we send you out stuff that we're watching from our watch list the night before, and then pulling stuff that's up on trade ideas that might be things that we might be looking for at market open, right? So what we always usually do too is we have a smaller screen like this. I'll show you what I do here. I'm going to move this over here. So what I usually do is I have a future screen pulled up over here, and you'll see you know, I kind of have it in a small chart, and then I kind of put some stocks that I'm watching from the watch list over in here, and I have two of these screens set up. I have a second one as well, so I have a futures chart, and then ones that I'm watching for the watch list, and then some from trade ideas. So I have two of these screens that I'm looking at. Give me 1 second here. I got to pull up. I have so many dang screens that I'm pulling up the trade rooms. Okay, so I have two of those charts pulled up, right? So what I want to do is looking at what's happening at the futures. You can have an S&P chart up, whatever you would like. I just prefer futures. Dan does as well, just because it kind of captures movement, you know, before and after market hours as well as market hours. And so a lot of these stocks, especially these pump and dump stocks, they run with the market. So if the market's having a good up day, there's a chance that the stocks will start to run with it. If the market's having a down day, then chances are those stocks will potentially be going down. Especially the past, as you can see, all of this craziness the past few months. You'll notice a lot of these penny stocks, they're kind of pumping, going up for a few minutes, and then they kind of just tank, right? So, you know, where the market was going up like this, you might have them, you know, run for a little bit more in the morning before they dump. But a lot of these lately have just kind of pumping up for a few minutes and then kind of dumping right back. So, you know, it's very important, especially when doing day trading, to have a stock, you know, to have the futures or a chart pulled up like this, so that way you can kind of pretty much see what's actually going on and see how these stocks are running with the market. Sorry guys, I'm usually a focused person, like, so when I have a chat room up and then talking, I'm usually singular focus. So Dan's in the chat room, he'll probably talk to you guys. I'm just gonna kind of focus in over here, so I'm not the best multitasker, I gotta be honest with you. So anyways, going back to here, the charts, right? So we're looking right here at a futures chart, and you can see it's kind of got a big descending triangle right here, so you can see lower highs being made, right? and you can see kind of it's got a base here and extends down a little bit. So price is kind of right now at part of a base of a descending triangle. If I remove that line, you'll see the black line here, the 200 SMA. At this point right now, it's touching right off of it. So we got to see today, is price going to fail the 200 SMA and continue downwards, or is it going to stay above it, right? So you can see down here a few touches below the 200 SMA, and then it got propped right back up. So we got to watch what's going to happen today, see if it's going to be more of a bearish day or if it'll fake out, jump back up, and go bullish. As of right now, the market's kind of teetering here. You can see in the pre-market, it's below previous close, kind of forming a potential double bottom. So that's what we're looking at today, right? So I'm going to pull up some of the stocks from the watch list for today from last night and then see what we can do about trade ideas. I got a little bit of a late start here today, so I'll probably go right into market hours, talk to you guys for a little bit, and see what's popping up over here. Give me 1 second because I got to turn off the Dan likes the popping. I don't know if you guys like it at all. Like we have the trade room and there's like that popping that goes in the background. Like if you don't turn off the sound, that drives me absolutely bonkers. Dan happens to really love it. I shut it off. I'm trying to find out where I can shut it off here right now, but there we go. So give me 1 second. I'm going to shut off the sound on that. There we go. I was going to start off with some music for you guys this morning, but it shows that YouTube does this copyright thing, so we got to figure out a way around it. It would have been nice to start off with a little bit of music today, get pumped up, but YouTube, they have a whole copyright thing. So, anyways, all right, let's pull up AGEN over here on the watch list. David, you love the pop. Pop drives me crazy. All right, so let's take a look at AGN. Not doing much yet as of right now. What I was looking at with this one right here was a potential reversal. You see price is in a downtrend. Price is starting to close above the 9 EMA. I wanted to see it get above this 370 area for a potential. Again, you want to look at resistance here at that 20 EMA around that 395-ish area. So it's a potential reversal, right? So you want to see price get above the moving average lines. These moving average lines are all support and resistance areas, right? So you want to look at patterns, and then you obviously want to look at support and resistance. It's got somewhat of a morning star pattern, not perfect, but kind of a, you know, you can see this red candle down, kind of a doji-ish candle, and then a green one closing above. So it's a potential reversal setup right here. You can see the hourly over here has a little bit of room to run. Prices over the moving average lines. So, you know, obviously if you can get above, you can see some resistance in the 380s. And then obviously you have that 200 SMA around 407. So these are the things that I'm looking for. It's all about support and resistance and learning these patterns. Again, you can make your watch list at night, then you got to just watch and see in the morning. You got to see what's happening in the market. News affects everything, and you know, you got to again see what's happening. You know, if the market's going to go up or down that day, and set your alert levels. Again, I have multiple screens set up, so I'm kind of just watching multiple stocks at one time, and you'll see we're in there. You thought my beard would be bigger, Jack? I did shave it down a little bit. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at the chat room while I'm talking to you guys. So, yeah. So now I'm all distracted. So anyways, go back in here. Nothing's going on really with AGEN right now, but that's what I'd be looking for, right? So let's see if any of these are looking decent at the moment. AQMS, you'll see right here, kind of bull flagged right here, kind of had a hammer or kind of a doji or spinning top candle right above the 9 EMA. This green candle went above it. Now it's right touching or right around that $4 area. So $1.50 are also very, very huge psychological support and resistance areas. So you want to see price end up getting over, you know, with a price like this or a stock like this, you want to see it getting over that whole dollar amount of $4 and hold, right? So you can see in the pre-market there is some volume over here, about 14,000. That's good. And then you want to see price hold above those moving average lines, or above the moving average lines, and then get it above $4. You can also draw trend lines as well, right? So you can kind of draw a trend line like this and kind of see how price is kind of obeying the trend line. So at this point, if you're looking at AQMS, you want to see the buyers at least hold this area for a potential continuation upwards. And if it does continue above 4, you want to watch for resistance around that 200 SMA, that black line here. So if you look at my charts, the way I have them set up, the blue line is my 9 EMA, the red is my 20, the purple is the 50 SMA, and the black is the 200 SMA, right? So with this right here, if AQMS is going to move upwards, you want to see it kind of obey this intraday or this few day trend line, see it hold, get above $4. If it can get above $4, look at resistance potentially right around that 200 SMA. No coincidence being right under the 450 marker, $half amount. Doesn't always happen that way, but there's no coincidence as to why that's happening. So that's what I'd be looking at for AQMS. It is getting a little bit of volume. It's kind of running a little bit pre-market. So I'm going to put that one as one to watch, AQMS, to keep an eye on it. Let's see, BAS, not doing of anything much right now. So we have these on watch. Some of them don't get much volume pre-market, and they're not really doing much of anything. But if you have them kind of up on the screen, up on the side, it might take 20 minutes, half hour, an hour, whatever. You watch these alerts fire off, so you'll have some on the peripheral. So I have the watch list. Some of them I have peripherally in the background, and then other ones I'm kind of looking at the open, like something like this. AQMS has some volume, kind of doing this trend line. If it can break above 4, it does have a decent amount to run. 40 cents potential is a decent amount. Again, when you're day trading, you're looking to make 10, 15, 20 cents, right? We all want to hit home runs, but that doesn't necessarily always happen, right? So that's what I'm kind of looking at. These are ones that I might put on the forefront, and then something like this I might kind of put in the background because it's not doing much as of right now. So on the watch list, you might have 8, 10 stocks. I might only be watching 2 or 3 at open and then throwing some on from trade ideas. Right now I'm a little bit behind on trade ideas because started a little bit late, but we'll take a look at some stuff that's running when it hits trade ideas. This one right here, I want to see it break above 180 marker, the high of the previous day. If it does, you have some resistance around 204. Not a lot of room to run, right? About a 20 cent, 24 cent move. So not going to watch that one right now. CYH. This one had a run yesterday, had a nice jump up, so you can see a potential 9 and a 20 potentially crossing over there. It's getting a little bit overbought. Might have some potential continuation. It is above that $5 marker, which is a good sign. That whole and $half amount. I want to see price get above that 509-ish area right across here. If it can hold, it's struggling right now. It's below previous close. It is a little bit struggling here. So if it can get above and go red to green, then it might be a play to potentially watch for potential continuation. If it does continue, then you want to watch for resistance around that 200 SMA. Right at, it's about 556 now, so you got to watch it. But it's a potential 40 cent room to run, right? So, but again, be careful. It is a little bit overbought. So CYH would be one that I'd potentially watch right now a little bit. It could dump at the open. It's hovering right now. Again, I'd like to see it go red to green. Frontier. This one's kind of dumping over. So this is what you guys want to look at. So if you can get shares to short, this is Thinkorswim right now. It's hard to borrow. They're really terrible at finding locates for shorts. Interactive Brokers is much better. But if you can find shares to short, this is one where you can kind of take things and play things both ways, right? So Frontier had a big green day yesterday. It's broaching overbought, right? But in the pre-market, it's kind of rejecting yesterday's highs. Moving average lines are kind of bearish right now. Not a heck of a lot of volume. So this is one where you could potentially watch to see for continuation above that 1038 area. And it's got some room to run if it were to continue upwards. However, if it's to reject, right, it's rejecting right here on that 1050-ish area, this is a potential short play where you can short something if it goes and it rejects at resistance, and then you would look at support levels, right? So you can look at, there's some support down here on that 960-ish range, some right around that 1019 range, which it's kind of failing now. So if you can find shares to short of this, and it was a potential, again, you got to watch it open, see things at the pre-market, watch what's going on, but at the open, that's what matters and what happens, right? So if price goes back up, if it rejects off of 1050, you want to look at some support around 1020. If 1020 failed, it's definitely got some room to run. So this is where you would look at potentially shorting. So when you look at something to go long in the pre-market, you want to ideally see price go and break a pre-market high, right? If you're going to if you're going to go long, you want to see price continue up, go and break pre-market highs, look at other areas of resistance. If price goes at open at a stock and it rejects pre-market highs, it doesn't mean it's going to fall forever. You got to watch the patterns, the candlesticks, all of that good stuff. But you find support levels, and that's where you're trying to scalp. Again, with day trading 10, 15, 20 cents. And determine if you're, again, more of a long or a short seller. If you can't find, short locates, that's when you look to potentially dip buy, right? So Frontier, not going to put that one on right now. And MTMB, this one right here, not a much volume. I put it on, it was kind of a cheaper one. Again, you have some resistance around 83 cents at that 50 SMA, and then right below $1 right here. But I put it on because if it does continue up above 70 cents, you can kind of see that flag or that flat top kind of area, that if it can get some volume and break above, if you make 10, 12 cents on a stock that's under $1 like this, if it's 1,000 shares is only, what is that? 1,000 times $1, $1,000. What's that? $690. If you made 10 cents, that's $100. So if you bought 5,000 shares on that, it's a $500 move if it makes it up 10 cents. So I try to make the watch list where it gives you guys some diversity, stocks under $1. And then we just recently started expanding the watch list for you guys, putting stocks over $10 to give you more plays. So our plays are more between 30 cents and $20. So as of right now from the watch list, I'm looking at AQMS as potentially bullish. CYH is kind of bearish. Again, the market, just going back right now, is more bearish today. So as you can see, it's teetering right at that 200. Got that spinning top kind of formation here. So we got to just watch and see what happens. So just because we put stuff on bullish, it might not go bullish that way. You'll see our alerts are firing off like crazy. Last week we had a 94% success ratio or win ratio. We're hovering between the 80s to 90s. So that's really good, especially in a market that's really choppy and trading sideways like this. All right, so IMTE, I think this is one that went crazy parabolic yesterday. Dan and I, we totally missed seeing this. We're setting up the mic to do stuff like this for today. And so this is a stock right here. Look at IMTE that, I mean, it looks beautiful. Just absolutely perfect momentum play, riding the 9. And then if you start getting in these areas over here, it gets hairy, right? So you see this stock went $1.85 up to $37. I mean, you got to be careful playing this, especially right here. There might be some potential continuation. Got to watch and see. But you got to be careful. And a stock goes from $1 to $40, not getting caught up in that. So if you get in, you can see here, this kind of bull flagged over here, held the 9. Dan strategy that he teaches under his members only videos. He has a video on trading momentum stocks. So this is where you'd want to get in right here as close to the 9 as possible. And then you want to consider taking profits out here, right? Because you don't know that the stock is going to go from $1.85 to $38. You don't know this is happening until it's going to happen. So you always want to make sure you're taking your profits and have proper you know, risk management. So when a stock's riding a 9 like that, this is really good. Once it starts to close below the 9, that shows the weakness. But before that happens and price starts closing below the 9, you can see the warning signs up here with a high wave candle, big red candlestick. So these are giving you warnings, and you can see the Bollinger Bands outside here. When price starts hitting above out here, the price naturally wants to gravitate back to the moving average line. So IMTE to me right now is just a little too expensive to look at. But it's up to your preference. But this is just, it's so tough to trade this, and the volatility, I just don't get caught up in it. I personally don't trade or day trade stocks that are much more over $10, maybe up to $15. I like the spot of, you know, $1 to $10. But again, it's all a matter of your preference. So let's take a look at BOXL. I'm not personally going to look at IMTE. So BXOXL looks like it did something very similar yesterday. Had a big pump up, dumped back down, kind of moving up pre-market. So if you were going to watch this, I personally am not going to look at this one. You can see price going up here. And you can see resistance at that 1391. You can see this not making up quite as high during the pre-market. So you have kind of a double top failure as of right now. It could turn into a cup and handle, right? It could turn to a cup. The price has to go up here and then get above that 1391. So again, you could watch this if this is something you like, but it's not my, I don't personally like it. It's real kind of choppy and messy, so I'm not going to take a look at that myself. IPDN. This one's possible right here. You can see some resistance right at the $4 marker. Okay, it's above that. So this is a pump and dump, right? Pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. This one kind of in a descending triangle, might be looking to break out, have a pump. So this one is the one you'd want to watch to get over that 475 pre-market high. So it's kind of bull flagging now. You want to see it hold that 9. So this is one to potentially watch, but this might be a 5-cent spread stock. Let's say. Oh, no. Perfect. IPDN. So yeah, I'm going to watch IPDN. IPDN. So that's one I would definitely watch at open from Trade Ideas. And let's see here. So yeah, with IPDN, it's showing a little failure right now on the 9 EMA. Want it to stay obviously above $4. And then obviously at this point, you want to see it get above 475 and hold, and then got to watch at, you know, you can see it's just has a mind of its own, pump and dump. $1.50 amounts. Got to watch these wicks over here, but definitely IPDN to keep an eye on. And looks like market's about to open any moment. SEII. I guess it's going right now. Don't know if I like that one. Let's go over. So CYH right now. Let me pull that one up. So if I zoom in here on CYH, it's broaching previous close, right? So ideally what you want to do is see it get above previous close and want to see it get above that 514. You can see all our alerts are going off right now like crazy up here. Goodness gracious. Again, I got kind of a late start here today trying to do this for you guys, so I don't have all of them up on my screen right now. But CYH, not much volume right now. So I'm just, again, trying to show you guys. I'm going to teach you guys technical analysis and teach you as much as I can for you guys today. So I'm not so worried about a lot of the other stocks, right? So what you also want to do is when the market opens, you want to give it some time, right? You want to watch the patterns, watch what's going on. Again, have a chart up of futures. Again, when you have a watch list of 10 stocks or so, you know, have 2 or 3 that you're watching and just kind of watching what's happening. You know, you're going to miss moves at times. So I might be distracted over here. I just have this one up here just for right now. Whereas, you know, something on Trade Ideas or the watch list might just go parabolic. It happens so quickly. And this is why we like to stress, don't chase, right? Don't chase a stock. If you miss an entry, don't freak out. Don't be like, oh my God, I got to get in it now that it's super overextended. That's a perfect way to get trapped, right? You don't want to do that. There's always another stock to trade. If you have a bad day or it doesn't work, just walk away. Don't chase it. So again, that one's not doing much of anything right now. So let's take a look at IPWR. That's popping up on Trade Ideas. Zoom in over here. So you can see some resistance on IPWR right around that 150s range. No coincidence, right? Another pump and dump. So look at there. So this is where, again, you know, you can get your better entries when the market opens, but sometimes I like to give it 3 to 5 minutes to let the market kind of shake out, see what's going to be happening. But for instance, on the stock like this, IPWR, if you're going to watch it, if this is a potential play, you want to see price get above that 133 marker, pre-market high, ideally hold. Then you have some resistance around the 150s. Hold on, I just dropped my phone. All right, so IPDN is hitting Trade Ideas right now. Let's take a look at that. It's a low floater. Crazy. Okay, but yeah, that was the one we were watching earlier. Okay, perfect. So with this one right here, it's just obviously shaking out, moving back and forth. You want to see this 9 get up, right? You want to see the 9 start pushing up. You want to see price close above the 9. And then you want to see price, ideally, if you're going to be bullish on it, get above that 475 and hold. And then obviously you have some resistance. Obviously here's the pre-market high right over in here. And again, it's a pump and dump, right? So we got to watch and see. Oh, whoa, CYH. So watch this. Show you guys something here. With CYH, look what happened here, right? Couldn't get above, and it just kind of took a little bit of a dump here. So this is the 5-minute chart. It's kind of dumping and selling off as of right now. No coincidence. Many times, like when the stock has a big green day like this, many times it'll give back a lot of its gains before it either goes up or continues downwards. So that's why getting above resistance level is very, very important. IPDN still not doing much. VVPR is hitting Trade Ideas. All right, so it's not halted. All right. So VVPR, it's hitting Trade Ideas a bunch right now. So you can see right here that 20 EMA. It's got some resistance here. Price needs to get above that 20 EMA. If it does, it needs to get above, right above that 182.83 marker and hold, right? Let's put a line right there. So you want it to get above that. If it can, look at obviously $2 psychological support and or psychological resistance, and then 219, and then you have this kind of this is a weird gap right in here between right up. There's kind of several different gaps right here. So this is where you got to be careful with a stock like this. This is on the 5. Let me do a 1 minute right here. When it gets really overextended like this, you have to be careful where you want to get your entries as close to that 9 EMA as possible, right? When you start getting in way out over here, this is where the danger happens, right? So this is at 210 right now. It could easily give back 20 or 30 cents, right? Oh, IPDN. Hold on, guys. I see you guys talking about it. So yeah, IPDN again needs to get up and stay. You can see it went above that 488 and smacked right back down. So now it's got this kind of this candle wick right here that it's got to deal with the volatility. Nice job, David. So when you're looking here, you like that 9 and that 20 crossover. That's a good bullish sign. But now here we go. Price needs to hold above this 475 area, get above that 490. This is where you, again, have to be careful. You want to get your entries as close to the moving averages lines as possible, not take them up here unless these areas hold. Like if you get a pullback and it holds and it kind of bull flags, then you might want to go up, right here. So now you want to see this hold, this line right here. So now let me go to a 5-minute chart here. All right. So you can see this kind of this hammer candle right here. It held above the 9 EMA on the 5-minute, which is good. So right now, if you decided to have gotten in on this right here, you could have gotten in on the break above the high of that 5-minute candle, and then you got to determine what your risk management is. I'd suggest using that 9 EMA as a guide, not risking all of this as a stop. But at this point, it needs to get above that 475-ish area and hold. It's struggling once, twice. Now we just got to watch and see what it does. Oh, thanks, David. I never talked so much in my life. So it's struggling. So we'll just watch and see, guys. What audio? Let's see if this works here. Click on that link. Beeps. So right now it's, again, still holding. These dots right here, these purple dots, are the 5 SMA. So it's kind of still struggling around there. Again, price is broaching right now, pre-market highs. Again, 1, 2, 3. Now it's attempting the 4th time. I want to see it get above. Market is selling off right now. Let's see. Not good. Let's take a look at. Just keep an eye on futures right now. Let me see. I got my other chart pulled up. Let me take a look at it. Futures. I can't see. Darn it, on that chart I don't have. It's very dangerously close. That 2610-ish area. I think it's failing the 200 SMA right now. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's right there, right? Still bouncing, right? Very, very important area. And then right down here, got to watch and see. That's why, again, many of these small caps are going to struggle, right? So we got to look, you can see here on IPDN, struggling to get above that pre-market high. Still rejecting. Oh, see lots of bearishness right now, guys. We're going to teach a lot more about shorting as well for you guys moving forward. So again, with shorting, if you are, on a bullish day, right, you can wait for a stock to go up, form a top reversal, and short back down to support levels. Or you can look at something that's on a watch list. If it rejects or doesn't break above an alert level, you can take it potentially short then. Or if right off the bat it starts kind of bear flagging or doing a bearish pattern, it's up to your preference. If you're not going to short, you can also dip buy. Here you go. Look at this, right? Rejected. It could not hold above those pre-market highs. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 test dumping. So this is what you got to be careful of. Just with day trading in general, I mean, this happens over and over and over every single day, even in bullish markets. But when the market's been kind of selling off and being very weak like it has been lately, this is what you got to be careful of. Look, it's only 10 minutes into the market. Had a quick little run. If you didn't catch it, just dumping off, right? Let's see what else we got here. NYSE. NYSE, another perfect example. So this is hitting trade ideas. You had a pre-market high of 140 at market open, went up to 138. So it rejected off the high. So you have a double top failure. So you have some resistance up here, support in here. So that's a bearish sign, right? If you're bullish on it, you want price to get above the 140. If you're bearish on it, obviously it's a double top failure. You have some support down in here. Thanks a lot, Kratos. All right, AMRH. Let's take a look and see. A little bit choppy right now. Now with trade IDs, you got to watch something like this. So normally if I would see this, I would be like, I wouldn't really paying attention. It's kind of very sloppy. But what you'll see with trade ideas many times is something can look very sloppy like this and then just immediately take off in 1 minute candle, right? So don't discount it. When something hits trade ideas, it's a very, very, very powerful scanner. But ideally, you want to get your entries. I'm not saying to trade this one whatsoever right now, but you ideally want to get your entries down in these areas. Again, not when a stock is overbought like this. So you got to think about the psychology, right? These are pump and dump stocks. Most newbies are going to come in and they're going to be in another chat room or a chat room somewhere. Stock's going to get pumped up. Somebody's saying, hey, I'm in AMRH or whatever. Stock pumps up. A lot of the newbies get caught up right in here. Gurus or the companies are selling up here. Meanwhile, you're caught bag holding and then it's dropping, right? So that's why you want to get and anything with trading stocks, buy at support, sell it at resistance, right? SEII. All right, I see that popping up. All right, so SEII, you can see definitely some resistance at that 635. Some right here as well at 583. It's overextended. It's running really nice right now. But look at these resistance levels. You got to be careful. Again, this is where your risk tolerance is. This price is really far away from the 9 moving average line right now on both. This could easily dump at any moment. So this is why we try telling people don't chase, right? You want to get at these levels down here, not up here, not up here, not up here. Because again, this can go from 585 easily back down to 529 right in the course of a candlestick. Let's take a look at the daily. So right here, look at that. Pump right up. Perfect example. Look at this. Pumped all the way up yesterday to 636. Boom. Right? So this is a test right now for it. Don't chase. Nice job, David. All right. So starting to sell off now. So you can see here, rejection right at this candlestick right here. Now you want to see price hold. It's not selling off. So perfect example, if you were in this stock, right, and you had just bought 1,000 shares, and you bought it around 580, it's already down to 554. You're already down 30 cents or $300 right there. So that's why, again, buy lower down here. I'm not saying to get in right now, but if you were to get in over here, you want to see like kind of a smaller candlestick. You want to see it hold kind of like a bull flag and not tank, right? You want to see it stay above these moving average, that 9 moving average line. You want to see the 9 EMA push price back up. You don't want to see stuff like this. These are your entries right down here, right? Careful after 2 pullbacks, right? After 2 pullbacks, the third on up, you know, it starts getting more riskier. You start to see the sell-off, right? Here you go. Selling off right now, failing the 9 moving average. You guys are saying VVPRU. All right, let me see VVP. What was that one? VVPR. So right here, guys, look at that, right? Rejected here, selling off. You had a pullback down here, here, goes up, overextended, sell off, starts failing the 9. That's not good. Doesn't mean it can't go back up again, but this is not good. So 580s down to 520s. If you got in up here in the course of a couple minutes, you lost $500-600. Buy at support, sell at resistance. Don't buy at resistance and sell at support and lose money. VVPR, there you go, Dan. Nice call. So right here. Again, overextended right now. So perfect example. It pulled back, so it went up, pulled back on this red candlestick on the 5 minute, right? And you can see These are like the candlesticks you want to get in on, these smaller ones when they're holding the moving average lines, not out here. So when the stock is running, if it hits trade ideas and you're seeing it way out in no man's land out here, don't buy it there. You can see major green candlestick. It has to pull back. This is doing exactly what it should. Pulls back to the moving average lines. You could have got trapped right over in here. And this could have shook you out at the close below the 9. But right here, when you see this green candlestick right on the 9 on the 1 minute, then you can get your entry at the break of this one right here using a close below the 9 as a stop. And then obviously look to start taking profits up here. When the stock goes and it breaks 220s, it's up to 280s. You know, that's $600 if you have 1,000 shares. 60 cents. Starting to get overextended. Let's take a look at the daily. So definitely some resistance at 3, just psychological resistance, and 317, that 200 SMA. Here it comes up on $3 right now. Again, don't take entries out here. Overextended, need pullbacks. It's all over trade ideas right now. VVPR, low floater, going parabolic. But this is where newbies get trapped. They buy out here when it hits the scanners. They want to get in on something, and then don't be surprised if this thing goes from $3 and just dumps right now. Could go up, but that's okay. You know, I mean, happens all the time. There's halted, VVPR, halted, good call. So it's halted. So again, on a halt, you want to watch it resume, watch what the pattern does. Don't chase. If I can tell you guys anything, do not chase. Very, very important. AMRH. Let's see here. Is that one halted? Oh, AMRH just halted too. So this is what I was saying earlier, right? So this is what happens with trade ideas. You look at this normally and be like, oh, this is a crappy looking, nothing's really going on. But, you know, it just goes from $1.30 up to $1.60 and then it halts, right? So that's why trade ideas, they pick up. That's every single day. There's something that ends up moving. And you got to limit your risk by getting your entries as close to the 9 EMA as possible. So you would buy in an area like right over in this area or right at a break above this candle, not at the top of this candle, right? Or not out here. This is a kind of a sloppy looking pattern right here. Kind of not doing much of anything. So ideally you want to get in right here, a break of this candle, which is the break of the high of day. So right here, and you saw that kind of hammer candle, if it broke above that 133, that would have been your entry. And then obviously it went up and it halted. So we'll see what happens when it resumes. So what's up, everybody? What's going on? Just checking the room here. Looks like David's having a good day. Yeah, like Dan's saying here, not holding more than 15, 30 seconds. Yeah, that's what's happening with this market, guys. You know, just they're pumping and dumping. These not pot stocks, these penny stocks are just, they're pump and dumps in general. But no, I'm not. No, David, I'm terrible, man. I'm very singular focused. If I'm teaching, I'm teaching. I'm terrible at teaching and trading at the same time. I just can't do it. I'm terrible at it. I'm very singularly focused. So that's why if I'm teaching you guys, I'm teaching. If I'm trading, I'm trading. Eventually, I'll be able to try to multitask. I'm always in the other thing too, you know, we're always doing so much stuff with obviously website, courses, all that stuff. So my brain is, I can only focus at one thing at a time. CLWT. How's the audio sounding right now? Will this be a daily event? Not sure. At some point, maybe. Wow, cool that you take the time for it. No problem, man. It's actually easier for me because it's easier for me to talk about what I see than post the charts. Look at this garbage. This is hitting trade ideas. I mean, this is what you call just massive pump and dump, right? Can barely hear your fan too, or my AC. Yeah, I'm working up a little bit of a bead here today. We have I have my apartment, which has a couple ACs, but the ACs are loud. And I have this really nice industrial fan, but we were putting it in this microphone. It was picking up too much background noise yesterday. So Dan put the kibosh on it. So look at this garbage. I mean, how do you even trade this thing? There you go. This is definitely a day traded company. So this is quite a bit of a mess. Let's look at a 5-minute chart. So on something like this, you know, you can see you would have potentially gotten in at the break above that 265. Right? But this would have been kind of harder to trade. Cron. Let me take a look at Cron. All right. CRON. That's possible right here. So Cron, it's been kind of selling off. Might be finding support. Let me delete these here. May have found some support around that 576. Now you have some above the top of this candle right here, that, what is that, 621-ish area. So on a stock like this, again, not saying to trade this right now, but if you were, you get in, you can see this holding the 9. You get in closer to down here rather than out here. Not saying to trade it right now, but this is what you're looking at, right? Let me look at a 5-minute on this. Bull flagging right now. So you want to see this candlestick hold right here. You have some resistance at that 606, $6 as well, right? So this might be setting for a potential breakout. Got to wait and see. IMTE. Hold on one second, Kratos. So right here, this is a perfect example. So this is a bull flag looking good. Might be setting up. This is where if you were to take a risk, right, you could take a risk down here in the 590s using the 9 EMA as a stop in anticipation of a break of 6. So if you wanted a risk, that would be something to look at. Or if you wanted to see if it held, you could wait for a stop for it to break above 6, retest and hold 6 for a continuation upwards, right? That's a matter of what your risk management is. It's, again, all a matter of your preference. And so right now with this one, thanks, Huskers. Yeah, we'll be, I can see us doing a lot more of it. I'm still trying to work, guys. I actually had to wake up earlier today because I am not a morning person by any means. So maybe this live will make me a morning person, but that's usually my problem. But I'm doing all right now. Just trying to stay awake for you guys. So right here, as you can see, it's struggling. Wants to see if it can break 6. Kind of got that ascending triangle, that ascending wedge area, kind of a cup pattern right here. So it is bullish signs. So this is where you would decide, do you get in anticipation of a break of 6, or do you wait for 6 to potentially break and hold, or, you know, potential short. But the short, it's very close to the moving average line, so it's not like there's much of a gain. Oh yeah, IMTE. Yeah, that's that one from yesterday. Cron. I'll come back to Cron in a second here. I want to take a look at IMTE, see what that stock is doing. Oh, looks like it was. Look at that, huh? Crazy. Cron is close. Hold on. CRON. Back to that one. It's right. Look at that. Rejecting. It's got that 606 resistance. Let's take a look at AQMS. So here, it's a little bit sloppy right now. See if that retest holds. Gets above that 407 marker. Is everyone else in VVPR halts? Let's take a look at that. VVPR. Still stuck, huh? More live stream. Someone trade for Lucien. Yeah, guys, I'm not worried about trading right now, guys. We're all about trying to help you guys out, so. And again, I'm singularly focused, so if I'm trading, I'm trading. If someone doesn't want to pay us $10 a month because I'm not showing my brokerage account, then they could go somewhere else, right? I don't care. Let's see. Meat. Yeah, usually. So with the halts, best $10 a month. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Meat is still riding that 9. Again, overextended. Yeah, good call, Warren. You want to see that a pullback here. You want to see it hold that 9 EMA. Let's take a look at the daily. Let me, so you have some resistance right at that 200 SMA at that 306, obviously $3 as well. So put some right up in there. Up. $3. Some support on it here. Oh, then you got this kind of this pre-market right here. All right. So got to watch and see what happens here. Is it going to fall and touch how could I purchase a hat like yours? Right over on our website over here. We're actually redoing our merch. I don't want to stop the screen, but right on our website, bullishbears.com, you'll see a drop down. We're actually redoing all our merch and stuff as of right now, but thanks for liking our hat. So showing some weakness at the 9 right now. So at this point, you want to see, is 266 going to hold? Take a look at a 5-minute. All right. So this is why you got to be careful. When price gets way out like this, that's when you're buying at resistance levels. You want to buy, again, so you want to ideally look at a 5-minute setup, right? Watch the pattern form, and then look for your potential entries on a 1-minute, right? So you can see in a candlestick right here, pattern was forming here. You could watch right on the pullback right over here towards the 9, got in the break up here, and then you could ride it technically until it closes below the 9, or determine your profit levels. If, you know, obviously you want, we always encourage taking your profits. VVPR, you made another scalp. Let me pull that one up. Up. Oh. All right. So right here, I'll pull up VVPR in a second. So this is what you want to do. You want to see that 9 hold like this. This is very key. So this could be a fake out right here, or it could be a warning. So this is where you got to watch and see, right? Determine your risk. If it can get back above over this candle, it might continue upwards. You want to see it hold and not reject here. If this can hold, it might be potentially continuation. You can see right here, that's a potential nice bull flag. Got to wait and see and hold. Limit your risk, right? So if you were to get in down over in this area over here, then if it starts closing below this area and around here, you can have a tight stop, like a tight stop setup, right? Good risk management. But be careful buying at candles like this, a doji, when a stock's overextended, right? Got to see what happens here. Very true, Dan. Here we go. We want to see it break above. If you're bullish. Still a little bit overextended. VVPR again. Oh, there it goes, huh? Dang, look at that. VVPR. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. So this is where this happens all day long. So right now I have a chart up of meat and VVPR is flying. This happens all the time. So it's a good learning lesson that like you're going to see stocks and you're going to miss them all of the time. But you don't have to have major winning trades every single day, right? You get the right share, you know, right size position. You get a couple of them a week. That's really good money. I mean, we all want to hit home runs, right? We all want to make 50 cents, $1 trade, but it's all those like 10, 15, 5 cent, 7, 8 cent scalps that add up, right? And so, yeah, VVPR look like it's hitting a home run right now. I'll pull that chart up in a second. I was just kind of watching this one to see. This is a nice kind of momentum trade where it's just kind of riding the 9, slowly grinding, watching over here. Now it's starting to fail right here. Again, showing some weakness. How do you get audio? Just click on... Let me give you the link here. Let's do this. There you go. So, showing some weakness again here. So, on a stock like this, meat, you want to see this area hold, and it's kind of struggling in between. So now you got this. Awesome. Great to hear, David. So now it's kind of in this range right here. Is it going to bull flag and hold, or is it going to fail? CNET, I'll have to take a look at that one. Cron is dumping right now. Let's take a look at CNET. Yeah, CNET's moving up. Let's take a look at CNET. I have a smaller chart up on it right here. It's broaching to see if it can get above that 9 EMA. See if it can get above that 282-ish marker for potential continuation. Got to watch and see. Nice job, Dan. So as you can see here, guys, it's retesting, right? Retesting pre-market highs. Again, I'm not looking at this one because I was saying you should trade it. I'm just kind of want to show you guys a technical analysis. Nice job, Rose. 340. Cron is touching VWAP right now. It's pulling back. I'm going to put meat up on another screen right now. Come back to it. So this is what I want to show you guys. Like, this is the stuff that happens. So this is where you want to be careful, right? So now you can see price trading in this range, getting sloppy, failing the moving average lines, a little bit tricky to trade. So you ideally, if you want to go long on something, you want to see price riding that 9 EMA and the 9 pushing it up. If you're going short on it, you then want to see the moving average lines go down and price start falling below the moving average lines. Well, in the 5-minute chart, price you can see, still overextended, could easily fall back to the moving average lines. Once you start seeing stuff like this, it's not good, right? It's failing that pre-market higher, it's touching it, and the pattern's starting to get sloppier. Doesn't mean that the 5-minute can't hold right now and just immediately kind of hold here, bull flag, and go back up. But that's where you got to watch the patterns, right? Nice job, Dan. weakness, right? Now it's closing below that pre-market high. Not good. Doesn't mean it can't still run. Got to watch and see how this pattern works out. Again, just want to show you guys the things that you're looking for. When a price goes up, you want to see it break above pre-market highs, right? So, and hold, you know. So once it got above here, you wanted to see this area hold. You don't want to see it come back down and fail it unless you're going short. True, Dan. See, now it may have bounced, so got to watch here, right? So it's kind of 1, 2, 3 times some support here, maybe trying to bounce, but at this point you want to see price get back above the 9 if you are going to be bullish and see it continue upwards. Let's take a look at AMDA. This one's flying. This one's oh, AMDA. Is that halted? Looks like AMDA was halted. So with this one, obviously careful of that 50 SMA 165. Obviously, it's a pump and dumper. If it can get above that 165, the 50, you know, it's got room to pump, but watch again, pump and dump. STAA, let's take a look. Yeah, so this one up, kind of got a head and shoulders pattern, head up here, left shoulder. So if you were to go short on this, kind of have some resistance right here, tweezer tops right over there. Kind of got that left shoulder up here, some support down in here, and then obviously down way over here. So kind of has a middle finger and FU, right? Head, left shoulder. Now you got to watch this area right here, resistance. If you were, it's short. I'm not the best at shorting on a right shoulder. Ideally, you want to try to get towards a head or below the neckline here. Right shoulders can get messy unless you can kind of stomach through this, right? In this channel over here. But potential short if you did an STAA, this is where you would look. You want to see price stay below this and then fall below this 2077-ish range. And then it could obviously fall down, you know, here. So that's what you'd be looking at for a potential short. SEII, let's take a look. So that 635, that's going to be resistance. Also high a day here. It's kind of getting messy. Pump and dump. Take a look at a 5-minute. So yeah, kind of got this cup, or you can say inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, necklines right here. Struggling up here. Could be forming a double top. Struggling, right? A little bit messy. Nice job, Rose. Man, is VVPR still halted? Yeah. Looks like it's still halted. Or is it still moving? Killing it, Rose. Great job. Oh, VVPR looks like it's coming back. All right, so moving up. Take a look at the daily. VVPR blowing through things. My God. So guys, this is where, again, when something halts, right, you're going to see it blow up trade ideas. It's blowing up trade ideas like crazy right now. So this is where many newbie traders panic, right? And they're like, oh my God, it's on trade ideas. It's flying. I got to get in. Oh my God, it went from $1.54 to $4.34. IMTE went up to $40 yesterday. So surely VVPR is going to go up to 20 or 30 bucks. Let me buy now. Got to be careful, right? You don't want to do stuff like that. This is crazy up here. The risk management is awful. It's all about protecting and managing your risk. So if you're new in here, you're on a 1 minute candle that just went from 370 to 440. That's a 70-cent move. This is crazy, you know? So you want to wait for pullbacks, wait for the patterns. And right now it's crazy. So this is where we say don't chase. Look for pullbacks, buy at support. You know, don't buy when a stock is overextended. Look at the RSI on this. Super overextended. Over here, super overextended. You wait for pullbacks, something like right here. Something down over here. Potentially over here. Not up here. This is where you get trapped. Lexi, great job then, right? Way to recover. BOXL. And so this will happen, right? So you can say, well, you're saying don't buy right now, but look at it. It's still going up. It just went from 450s to 486. Well, yeah, that's great. If you have the cojones of steel, you could ride that through. And you got to be, look at that, in and out super quickly. This could easily tank. Look at that, 440s to 480s. That's a 40-cent move. Very, very, very tough to have proper risk management. And look at it. There we go. Look at that, 480s down to 429. One candle. See these candlesticks? Super, super difficult to trade. Exactly, David, exactly. And that is what precisely what many newbies do. So I want to just show you guys this right now. I don't trade stuff like this out here. This is too crazy for me. But I want to show you how stuff like this works. Got to be very careful on big candles like this. There it is, broaching high a day again, 486. Boom, it breaks it. So you can say, why don't trade that, right? You just told me, hey, be careful, don't trade that. It just went from 450 to 507. Well, if you have gigantic cojones and you have a major brokerage account and you're super awesome and you can get in out of your position in 5 seconds, then go for it. So you could have gotten in right here on the pullback and a break above, but look, this candle is 20 cents. It's a 90-cent 1 minute candle. Crazy, still moving, right? It's all risk management, guys. Not saying it can't go up. It obviously can, but it can easily drop down as well. I just want you guys to be aware of when you're trading stuff like this, you can catch it easily, you know, very quickly on the way up, but it could also catch you very simply on the way down. So having a 90-cent 1 minute candle for risk management is not good risk management. Now at this point, you're just chasing. So again, you could see chat rooms or other places pumping it and saying, oh my God, it's flying, it's flying. And you could easily get caught up here. It's dropping now. Still can easily go up, right? So 527 down to 5 or 448. What is that? 50, 80 cent, another 70 or 80 cent candle. Correct. Exactly, David. So right here, it might be bull flagging. Maybe it's another bull flag. It might hold here. Boom. So this might go up. Got to wait and see. Or it could drop. Look at that. 502 down to 472 within seconds. So let's watch it. Overextended 5 minute, overextended 1 minute. Tanking. Look at that. 527 down to 460. Could still hold, bull flag and go up. But exactly, Frab. Volatility. VVPRs all over trade ideas. And who knows, you know, maybe this thing goes up. Maybe it goes up 10, 20 bucks. You just never know. But, you know, it's tough. These ones are just you got to be very, very careful. You can see when price went up and it broke above that 527 when it comes back down. Could be the bulls and the bears. Just there it goes. Right? Now it's really starting to show some weakness. But kind of bouncing off the 9. So at something like this, what you'd want to see and watch for is watch if like a couple, you know, 5-minute smaller candles kind of form. You can see like littler candles. You want to use smaller candles. You want to see the 9 catch up, littler ones. It might not happen because they're so volatile. This might be it, and it just might hold right here and just fly. But if you want to play it safely, you want to see it give you a nice solid hold. Be careful. But if this goes right here, if this goes and breaks that 480 candle, that could easily just in seconds go up or easily come back down. Hotkeys, super important. And it's dumping. Cron, I have up on my screen. It's breaking above 6 right now. Between 610 and 620 potential resistance. So you can see kind of a bigger double bottom on a 1-minute chart from yesterday to today. But yeah, between 610 and 620. There you go. So look at that. See if that holds. That. But see this? This is, look at that. This is what I like to try to tell you guys is look at this candle, right? 437 to 480. 480. What is that? 40 to 50 cents, right? That's a 40 to 50 cent less than 1 minute candle. This would make you go crazy. Right here. Now, how do you trade that? Is it going to fall or is it going to go and break? How do you trade this candle? Could go either way right now. All right? This right now is not good. And now you can see that 9 EMA kind of trading sideways. Might be pushing up. But picture being a newbie, right? You get caught up. Everyone's pumping this stock. It's all over the scanners. You buy. You just bought up around $5 and now it's at 420. You bought 1,000 shares. You're down $800. Still falling. And then what you're doing is what you're going to do is you're going to ask everybody in trade rooms, hey, should I hold on? Should I hold on? What should I do? It's falling. It's falling right now. What do I do? It's still falling. Yeah, this one. Yeah, we'll post it for sure. Yeah, I'll post this video. And here you go. Kind of a dark cloud cover pattern. Here we go. Over and over and over again. See that? Pumped up. Yeah, 1 pullback, kind of 2 sold off. These are the candles that you get in on over in here, in these areas, and you avoid this like a plague. Nice job, Galactic. All right, so at this point, if you were to potentially look at this for a potential play, not saying it can't move at some point, you'd want to see some smaller candles, let this heat die down. You want to see something like this, right? Right? You want to see a smaller candle like this. Get some better risk management set up. Avoid trading these bigger candles. AEY is hitting the scanner right now. AEY. Let's see. So AEY is do this. AEY, obviously that just pumped up, right? Right over here, you have the 200 SMA right around that 142 area. That 150, no coincidence, $half amount. Price needs to get above it. Don't chase it. Look at 138 to 150. It's hairy right now. So these are the entries right down in here. So right here, you could have gotten potential shaken out. You could have saw this and be like, oh, okay, I'll get in a break here. Shook you out in this 1 minute candle, faked out, and then it went up. So these are the areas you want to get in down here, not up here. But in something like this now, if you start seeing the 9 catch up in smaller kind of candles near the 9, then you might consider an entry. Right now it's kind of farther away from the 9. Got this big long wick here, rejecting at 150. Yeah, sorry, Hannah. Good thing it was paper. Oh. I'm tired, guys. This is the most I've talked in a while. Dan's gonna bust my bust my chops on this one. Oh, and there goes the S&P rate, or futures tanking. Here we go. Let's see if watch for the drop. Futures are failing that 200 SMA right now. Right here, critical support, that 2610 area. If this fails, it's got some room to drop to 2550s, right? So now be careful of all these small caps. They might keep dropping. Descending triangle, guys. Lower high, lower high, lower high. Lows down here. Price is at the base of part of this descending triangle. Can still fall down here. Failing the 200 SMA is not good. Unless you're bearish. And all the alerts triggered except for one today. Not too shabby. Let's see what it, let's take a look at a couple of the swing trade ones right now. Let's see what we have on there. ALK at or below 63.39. That triggered. Let's take a look at that. That's Alaska Airlines. So right here, you can see at or about below 63.39. It failed below this candle. Now you had that 62.34. So it gotta wait and see. Let me see. Look at the hourly. It's a little bit easier to look at. So you can kind of see a head and shoulders pattern here, right? Head, left shoulder, right shoulder, neckline here, neckline's extending, neckline's extending. Could fall down to that 61.34 range if that can continue. And then there's still room to fall. So this is what I was looking at when I put it on the watch list last night. So 62.38. So it's already dropped $1. So if you guys are paying attention to our alerts, this one right now is already making $1. Obviously be careful of it being oversold right now, but you know, gotta watch and see. If it pulls back up and continues to fall, there might be more of an entry, another entry. APO. That one was at or above 29.64. So what I was looking over here was a potential break. You can see that kind of falling wedge pattern here. 29.64. I was looking for it to kind of see if it's going to break out and continue up. It did. And 29.64 up to 30.76. That went up $1 today, right? So it went up. Still continuing this big green candle, showing some weakness now. Got to be careful on this, especially with a market being bearish, right? And so there's two of them that have gone up $1 today on our swing trade watch list. Let's take a look at IMAX. IMAX was at or above 22.60. Struggling right now, right? It's close, right? So what I was looking for here on the daily was this is a bullish Harami pattern, right? Big red candle, smaller green candle enveloped, right? That'll think of pregnant. That's where Harami means in Japanese is pregnant. So look at this, you know, showing potential reversal. This will be a 3 inside up pattern if price can get above right over here and hold. So I was looking at this because now you can see it's right around that 9 EMA. If it can hold above that 9 EMA and push up, if it can kind of get above that 23 marker, it could run up to potentially 24, right? So I got to watch and see on that one. Kind of an inverse head and shoulders. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder, neckline, neckline. And I am tired, guys. I am going to go right now. So we shall see if we continue doing some more of this stuff for you guys. I'm sure we will. I was able to talk more than I thought today. Have a good day, everybody.